Hi, this is Matt Donegan at Business Spotlight, and I'm here with Nick Simmons. Nick, can you tell me who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for, please?
Yeah, so I am a managing director of a company called the Finance Company. We are an intermediary between a lender and a client, so mainly doing property finance, all types of property finance, regulated and non-regulated. I've been in the finance industry for 17 years now, just over actually. I started out in Royal Bank of Scotland, moved on to a small brokerage, turning into a very large brokerage with the CEO at the time. And then I was relished for a new challenge, and I took on the role as a managing director of the finance company. And here I am today.
Brilliant. So why join the finance company? What was your what drove you to it?
So I was keen for a change. I think I'd been at my previous firm for long enough. There's not much else I could have done there. I saw an opportunity to work with some like-minded people. So I actually have a work under a mother company as well, which is some part of a larger group called Tab. So they are a bridging lender. I liked their whole entire idea, their products. I love the people that work there, and I could just see myself fitting in. And so yeah, here I am today, as I said.
Brilliant. So the big cultural fit for you and the core business. So
Definitely.
so what makes you guys stand out in the marketplace?
So we're all about the personal interaction. So I do think nowadays people do need a mortgage broker more than now than ever. Long gone are the days when people go directly to their bank. What makes us stand out? We try to do everything face to face. From the moment we have any client interaction. So we aim to meet with every client physically, if possible. And demographically, if they're too far away, it's not. Then we go to an online meeting. I'd say that's what makes us stand out slightly from the telephone brokerages out there. We have a different philosophy. So our philosophy is all about it's all about putting the client in the heart of the transaction. So we don't just do that one transaction. We look at the whole entire what the client is looking to do down the line. So are they looking to build up a portfolio? Are they looking to just getting their first time house? But what is it? What's the next stage? We look at also their protection side of things, so protecting their family. We look at the holistic picture, not just what's in front of us. We have a motto, and we are the broker for life.
Like it.
So,
Broker for life. That's really cool. So you've got quite a large panel as well, haven't you? I believe.
yes, we have 180 lenders on our panel. So that puts us I think it's one of the largest panels of lenders that you can have in the UK. So what that means is we don't just do, the residential stuff or the residential lending. We also do the commercial lending. So we're very lucky to have both on our panel, both types of lenders. And that means, we're open to business for every kind of client there is. So we try to stay clear of any like business to business finance, although we do have solutions for them, but it'd probably be referred to another relationship or another business. We are just property related finance only mainly.
Okay. So if you had, for instance, a business owner was looking to perhaps acquire some funds to buy their premises, that you would help them out with that.
Yes.
If it was the SSAS type investment as well, you'd probably be able to provide the funding for that type of interaction as well. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. We could do. Yeah. I mean that would take a. I mean we haven't delved too much into that kind of lending quite yet, but it's definitely something we've got options for.
Okay, that's great. So, what's your business journey been like since you started? So you joined the company when? Was it 21?
No, I joined the company last November. The actual company has been around since 2021. However, it was just it just was a one-man band brokerage as such. So it was a very small brokerage before I then stepped in.
Right. Okay. And so how's the business journey been? There are some challenges in the market that I think everybody's aware of. So how's the business journey been right now, or over the last few months?
The last few months is picked up slightly, I'd say. I think August was quite difficult. Everyone's on annual leave. The property market does slow down. But we've found that, that's the residential side of things. We've found that we actually just entered the commercial space very, very easily.
Right.
So the commercial space seems to be ticking along quite nicely.
Okay.
Businesses still they're running day to day. The high net worth market as well, £1 million plus market, it seems to be ticking along okay as well. So
Okay.
I suppose if you have money, don't you? So
Yeah.
I'd say the market's been hit probably by the first time buyers. They seem to be holding off and waiting for the market to drop. They could be waiting a long time. I personally think it's a great time to buy because obviously interest rates are high, but you can leverage that against the property price.
Yes.
So there is still bargains to be had out there.
Yeah.
And people will eventually move. And the issue is if everyone starts moving when the interest rates start falling, then the market, well, it's going to be flooded. And then interest rates, obviously, they'll come down, and then the property market then rises.
Yeah.
So and then then all of a sudden it's a seller's market. Whereas at the moment, you get a good value for money out there at the minute. So the property market's gone down probably 5-10%.
So essentially, if you're looking for the right deal, or there are lots of good deals around, property deals around at the moment, and it's just about finding the right terms, the right lending terms from the likes of you guys.
Yeah. So we would basically, if a client comes to us, we'll help them with the property. There's been a lot of down valuations currently. The lenders are down valuing a lot of properties, which is obviously a different challenge in itself. We try to help with that. We look to see if the price that they're buying the property for is realistic, so we can foresee any down values happening.
Yeah.
But it's not just about that. It's about obviously the client finding the right property for them. But then obviously the lending is, the conditions are a lot tighter than what they used to be. Affordability is getting harder. The general living costs are rising. It is more difficult. So it's more important now than ever to go to someone like ourselves or a broker to find out exactly what you can afford and make it, and the broker needs to make that realistic. In order to do that, you need to go through a full fact find. We need to find out your full financial circumstances. What lending you have in the background, how many dependents you have. All of this needs to be taken into consideration to give you a true, accurate, affordability of what you can go out there and look for.
Yeah. Okay. So, what does the future look like for your business then?
It looks, I think, we've gone through the tough times. I think that next year will be a time for the finance company to flourish. We've got some great partners, so we've just recently partnered up with a company over in Dubai. So we're doing all of their expat mortgages, which is fantastic. I'm aiming to do a lot more of that. I've got an amazing team underneath me, and an amazing mother company to help us tick along. The next stage would be probably to make sure that business comes in, to make sure the introductions are made, to make sure we build our client bank, and from there I'll be recruiting, and then driving forwards, hoping to get to 10 to 15 probably brokers by the end of next year.
Wow, that's impressive. That's huge, because when you started with the business, you were like the second guy in, right?
Yeah, I was. And then the actual first person left after I came in, so he soon left. He wasn't. I don't think he was the right fit for the company culture, unfortunately. But he was a great guy. That being said.
Okay. So what are the main challenges for your business journey? We often look at those challenges in kind of one of three silos. So time, is there enough time for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve? How much you're working, how long your team are working? team, how your team performing? Are they delivering against their KPIs? And then money, how's money coming into the business? Are you seeing the growth that you want? Are you hitting your financial KPIs? Which one is your biggest challenge right now?
I'd say at the moment, I've got quite a new fresh team into the industry. So I've taken fresh blood, so people who have been in the property game, but not necessarily been a mortgage broker. So that's been a challenge in itself, obviously, because you've got a fresh team. They need to know how to do things. So I believe, if you get the sales process correct and the client interactions, then everything else follows.
Yeah.
So the first challenge we had was obviously onboarding clients. So, it has been a challenge. I had to strike up new relationships. So the start of my journey with the finance company was I was out on the road pretty much most of the time, striking up new relationships with estate agents, accountancy firms, IFAs. That has gone very, very well. So I've probably onboarded, I'd say about 30 estate agents now,
Right.
who are giving us leads. But the issue is the market. I'm used to a market where you have an estate agent and they give you many leads every single week, and every single month. Whereas now the market has been a bit tougher. You need to onboard more agents and more introductory firms in order to get that same level of business.
Yeah.
So that has been the first challenge I've had to overcome. Are we there yet? I'd say I'd say we can take on more. I think I'd say we're probably 75% of the way there now,
Okay.
with regards to new business and levels where I'd like it to be. Other than that, I think the challenges going forwards are just to continue that, is to get that level of business to continue to come in and more so. So I haven't stopped yet, so I'm going to continue going out, continue striking up new relationships. And I've got lots and lots of relationships that are kind of halfway there, and, I've got to keep working on them and keep proving who we are in order to onboard them.
Yeah.
So I'd say we're probably, with advisor and the office costs, etc., we're probably breaking even, if not just making a slight profit.
Okay.
But so, I'd like this time, well, probably April next year, to start making some nice profit for the company.
Yeah.
I would have said we're a new startup, so it does take a while to build that income.
Absolutely.
But we're getting there.
So you're pretty confident you're on track for your business growth targets?
I'm pretty confident. Yeah, I mean, I had some ambitious targets moving into this firm. Have I hit them this year? No, I haven't. But then there's been some real big factors in that. The market, when I joined, I signed a contract to take over as managing director this September, just before Liz Truss made her statement in October. That was kind of not foreseen. And as soon as that happened, the market just went in turmoil, as everyone knows. The interest rates went like shooting up. The market stalled. People weren't moving. Transactions were stopping, and that was the biggest contender. So and then So am I up to where I wanted to be? No. Has it really impacted me? No. I am a great believer that in a crisis, there's opportunity, and it's about steering the company in a different direction to find that opportunity. Look outside the box, find other ways to steer your company to success.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we've done. So my aim was to start off on the resi side of things, doing the resi mortgages, just the first time buyers, the people moving houses, upscaling their property. And we've kind of fallen into doing half of that and doing more, and also doing a lot of commercial business.
Yeah.
So I didn't foresee that happening. We've just kind of fallen into that space.
Yeah. I think there's that expression, nature hates a vacuum. I mean, it's very much the same with business, isn't it? When you see an opportunity, sometimes you get drawn into it, and that's hugely beneficial for a business, provided that it remains focused on what its core offering is, of course. So, what's been your biggest lesson over the last 12 months?
To probably not to be too ambitious and to let things, grow as they should. I'd say I'd try to probably take on more than I can handle, I think, as an individual. I put pressure on myself a lot as well. I'm always kind of having a go at myself if I don't if things don't work the way I want them to. I reflect on what I could do differently, probably a bit too much.
Right.
So it's probably that self-criticism. I probably need to stop hurting myself as such.
I mean, sometimes keeping focused, keeping accountable on the right things can be a challenge when you're inside any business. And I think every business owner and managing director and CEO recognizes those challenges. So I'm sure you're not alone in that.
Yeah.
If you were to go back in time, when you were 18, what advice would you give yourself?
I personally would have wanted to become a mortgage broker at the age of 18. The reason why, the market was very flamboyant back then. You know, I mean, the money that people could make as a self-employed broker is phenomenal. I started my career in Royal Bank of Scotland. I worked my way up from a cashier. You know, I was an area manager within 7 years. So I was managing 14 banks in that time. When I was the age of 26, you know, but you're kind of in your own little world, you know. It's very similar to being brainwashed, I think, because you don't know what's outside your own world, you know. So there's a big wide world out there, and I didn't really, you know, understand that. And I think that's I wouldn't take away what I've done. I think I've done very well, and
Yeah.
I've been really focused in my career. I'd say I could have done, you know, differently. I think I could have probably been more successful if I'd have gone a different route. And I love sales. I came out of sales too young, and I went into management too young. Sales is where I thrive, and it's what I do best.
Right. Okay.
But that being said, I do love developing people at the same time. So I wouldn't take back what I've done, but I'd probably change my career slightly, and stay in sales for a little bit longer.
Right. Okay. So what plans have you got that you'd like to share with us?
So moving forwards, I would like to go more into the international markets. So at the moment, I've done, you know, I've got the UK market. We've got the UK market. We're just touching the waters over in Dubai. I would like to, you know, potentially look at Singapore and Hong Kong because I've done this previously. It's a very good market. We've got great lending options for you know, international buyers buying in UK stock for new builds. I've got some great developer relationships, so I want to enhance them, take on some more developers, and, you know, hopefully do their finance. So yeah, going forwards, I'm looking just to grow efficiently, really, and get to. I want to become the UK's largest independent broker,
Okay.
and I won't stop until I get there.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. I love that ambition. I love that focus. Brilliant. So so that's plans for the future. With regards to the market at the moment, we've talked about some of the issues with regards to the market. Your attitude towards the commercial market is slightly different from the residential market. Would that be fair to say?
I think so, yeah. I do think the commercial market seems to be ticking along better. Is it as strong as what it was? No, it's not. But you know, businesses still are growing. Businesses still moving. So I've found that, you know, we've just fallen into the commercial side very just naturally, you know, and we're taking on more and more commercial business, which is a great situation to be in. Whereas the residential market is stagnated.
Yes.
It's not as strong as it once was. People are holding off, you know, so the first time buyers are waiting around for the interest rates to come down, perhaps, or the property market to come down even further.
Yeah.
They could be waiting a long time. I personally think it's a good time to buy, as I've said already.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the markets are very different. And I'm really hoping for a very strong 2024.
Excellent. So your big piece of advice from this for any of our viewers would be go and invest in some property, shop the right deals, get in there now while
Get in now whilst you can make a deal, because right now it's a buyer's market. You know, if the interest rates do come down, the property market will be flooded again. What happens when that happens? The market, the property prices rise.
Yeah.
And you know, then all of a sudden it's a seller's market.
Yeah.
So, you know, the property that you could buy for 300,000 right now could be 400,000 this time next year. Who knows?
And I guess you guys can help people with remortgaging or changing their financial arrangements.
100%. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. So we try to help as much as we can. You know, if we think that you're buying a property that's too expensive, we'll tell you. You know, if we there's a lot of product switches that are happening right now. People staying with their existing lenders because of affordability. That might not be the best advice. You know, it could be, you know, if you've got a good broker and they spend time looking for and sourcing the right product for you, then, you know, that is invaluable. That's what brokerage should be doing right now, is hunting the market for the clients, and not just doing product switches every time.
Very volatile,
yeah. There are better deals out there. You know, there's so much competition in the lending space right now, which is why rates seem to keep coming down. You know, we're getting some lenders are coming into the sub fours, you know, and with larger product fees. So, you know, that is another thing as well, is you've got to be careful of, is the product fees attached to these lower rates at the moment. It tends to not work, you know, if you look at the overall cost. So that's what a broker's there for, is to evaluate the whole situation, and the lender and their rates and their fees, and make sure it's right for the client.
Perfect. That's absolutely fascinating, and it's great to get a snapshot of the market. I think virtually everyone, well, we all are touched by the property markets, either on a personal or a business perspective, and having a way through to get through that at the moment is vital in this time of uncertainty. It's turmoil is a good thing.
Just to let you know, Matt, and for anyone watching, there are actually options out there. I'll give you an example. My mortgage just came up for renewal. My mortgage payment went up £1,500 per month. It's unrealistic, and there's gonna be a lot of people out there in the same situation. There is help at hand, if not just necessarily by a broker, but there's also government support. You can go on an interest only option for 6 months, irrelevant of your loan to value, as long as you haven't missed a mortgage payment. You can also extend your term of your mortgage. You know, these are the things that the government have stepped in to enforce lenders to do. So, you know, if you're in these situations, you know, go to a broker. They can help you. Don't miss your mortgage repayments. If you do, it puts you into a different scenario. You know, so if you need help, then just ask.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Nick. I really appreciate that. I'm sure everyone who's watching this will really appreciate that as well. So in the description of the video that we put out, we'll have your contact details on there. But if they want to check you out at the moment, what's your website address?
It's www.thefinancecompany.co, not .co.uk, not .com, .co. I'm also on LinkedIn, so you can by all means snap me up on LinkedIn as well. Just search Nick Simmons. I should come up quite high in the list.
Perfect. Okay. Well, look, thank you so much for your time today. We wish you continued success with your business. I'm sure you're going to excel in the next couple of years and take the business to new heights and reach your personal and professional goals. So thank you so much for today.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.